All right, hello everyone. Welcome to Court of the Rings on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook. I am Lotro's community manager, Cordovan, and I'll be with you for the next hour. We're getting ready for a huge launch next week. Yes, Fate of Gundabad arrives on November 10th. That's next Wednesday. Also, this is going to be a big weekend in Lotro because we're doing our Extra Life game day tomorrow. That would be Saturday, November 6th. And basically going all the way straight through noon to midnight. Right here on twitch.tv/LotraStream. This one's going to be on Twitch, not on YouTube and Facebook, but I'm streaming today on YouTube and Facebook as well. Welcome, everyone. Hope you're doing all right. I hope my computer makes it through here. I've been having some problems leading into the show, unfortunately, where I was getting some really bad frame rate. Unexpectedly low frame rate in XSplit, and I'm not quite sure what to do about it. I gave my computer a reset, and it seems to have helped, but I don't know. So hopefully it makes it through the hour here. Where's the beard? The beard has been shaved off for Movember. Every November, I raise money for the Movember movement. This focuses on testicular cancer, prostate cancer support, and research programs. And in particular, one of the big reasons I support Movember is for mental health help and treatment. A lot of us dudes have a tendency to kind of hold in our feelings and not talk about things that we really do need to talk about with professionals. There's a lot of stigma still out there related to mental health treatment and depression and things like that. Things that I know a little bit about. And so I do support the Movember movement. Extra Life, though, is the focus of the weekend, and that's raising money for the Boston Children's Hospital. Later on in the month, I'm going to do a special live stream on LotroStream, most likely for Movember. Also be on my personal channel. But that's why I shave. Every November, I shave my beard and grow a mustache, which isn't exactly my best look. I mean, you know, even under the best of conditions, I'm going to look how I'm going to look. But it doesn't help when I shave my face and just grow a mustache. So deal with it. Deal with it. I do every year. And that's that. So that's why. That's the why on the shaving. Otherwise, though, like I say, we're really full steam ahead here, getting ready for next week's release of Update 31, Fate of Gundabad. Yeah, so there's still time to get in on the action. You can go to the Lotro Market and pick up the X-Pack if you're interested. Otherwise, we've got a whole bunch happening here between now and next Wednesday, including a new article that is going to be coming out sometime this afternoon. I'm going to be getting to it. We have kind of a bringing the brawler to life from concept. It features a bunch of concept and artists and such talking about battle gauntlets and what have you. I also have a write-up of our recent casual stroll through Gundabad with scenario. You can find that archive on both Twitch and YouTube. And in the future, I'm going to be doing some write-ups probably with Bill Champagne about the music for Update 31, and I've got a couple other things in the works as well. So we're going to keep the articles going on Lotro.com. Speaking of which, Lotro.com is actually going to be getting an update. Now, this won't impact, well, fingers crossed, this won't impact the forums, but we are finally going to be getting a much needed refresh of Lotro.com here sooner rather than later. At one point, it was going to be for the release of Fate of Gundabad, but then, you know how things go sometimes. I think now we're looking at probably sometime in December, most likely, for the release of the new Lotro.com. It's not going to be radically different, but it's going to have a new look and much better functionality on the back end for us to be able to support better news articles and what have you. So that's something I personally am looking forward to. Dealing with Lotro.com, publishing articles over the years, not exactly the most fun thing in the world. It's kind of a hacked together version of a bit of an outdated web infrastructure program. So trying to do things like add images and get text looking right and format release notes, pain in the tuchus. So that's going to be getting much better here, but it's going to overall get a new look and a refresh. And that'll be Lotro.com. The forums will eventually also be getting updated. We've been talking about that for years. and it's still in the works. That's going to be a 2022 project, I think, at this point. So it's a little early to say too much about it, but we're going to be refreshing the forums as well. At least that's the plan for next year, finally. I think I may have said that for this year, and maybe even the year before that as well. But this time we mean it, hopefully. It's going to be a pretty big change, though, in that the forums are going to be getting a complete refresh with a whole new tech. It's not going to be vBulletin anymore. It'll be something else. And what that'll probably mean, is we're going to put the existing forums in a read-only archive state. It probably will mean that you're going to have to recreate a new forum name, and we'll just have to deal with the fact that hopefully people won't grab each other's names, but we'll deal with it. But for the most part, that's not something to worry about so much today. That's a 2022 thing, and the existing forums will remain visible in a read-only state here whenever that finally does happen. So we got projects in the works, right? Speaking of projects, we are also working on lag and game performance. As a matter of fact, that is our top priority other than getting Fate of Gundabad out the door. So things are happening on that front as well. And hopefully we'll have more news to say in the coming weeks related to that. Will private messages in the forums be lost? Maybe. Maybe. Yeah, maybe. I don't know about that one. I'm going to say probably. But that's not going to be for months and months yet. So we'll deal with that as we get closer to it. Yeah, so that's really what we got going on. Otherwise, we got a big bonus happening this weekend, a 25% crafting XP boost. That's our Lotro bonus days through the weekend. And like I say, we're just really kind of putting the final touches on Update 31 here. Now, I kind of cheated a little bit before the show here, so don't tell anybody. But I just published the release notes, even though they're not going to technically be published until next week. So that I can call them up on the show here today and read them for you. But yeah, we've got our Update 31 release notes that'll be coming here next week, and I wanted to just kind of quick go through them a little bit as well so that you can take a look at what's going on. The main thing I really want to call out is if you want to get ready to just dive right into Fate of Gundabad when the time comes, make sure that you're up to date on the Legacy of Durin and the Trials of the Dwarves. As long as you've completed Chapter 4.9, The Lord of Gundabad, you'll be able to speak with Prince Durin inside of Anak Kurfu or Zarkal Sulun to begin the next chapter, 5.1, Many Masters. But if you want to know what to do this weekend and you don't have it done, that's what you should probably be doing, is getting caught up on Legacy of Durin and the Trials of the Dwarves, if you want to cook into the Fate of Gundabad stuff come next week. I would mention that we do have a new allegiance that's going to be coming with the Fate of Gundabad. That'll be the Zelruka Dwarves. You'll be able to speak to Prince Ingor, and then it'll unlock a bunch of missions with Gundabad. We are also going to be giving allegiances their own in-game panel. Now, I should say some of these release notes are incomplete because they're not actually supposed to be published yet. They're not going to be published until, like, next Tuesday. But I just kind of quick copied them over from an internal page and then quick published it just for this hour so that I could call them up on the show here today. So there may be a few things that are incorrect in there, frankly. But you know, leading into Fate of Gundabad, here's where we are on the state of the release notes. So we're going to have the first Scaling Allegiance available to all players level 20 and up. It'll have 30 levels with 10 narrative quests and over 35 missions. Basically, you'll go to the character allegiances in the start menu, click on the Zelruka tab, click join, travel to the Hall of Vernozal in Matugard, and speak with Prince Ingor. And there you go. I'm just going to cruise past that because that's really all there is related to that. And you'll be able to see these notes next week and read them on your own leisure. We do have some classwork, like Brawlers are going to get a fix with the Matham, Hunter's Armor, Toggle Skills. A couple of them will no longer be canceled when a Brawler is stunned. On Hunter, we're reducing Quick Shot damage back to where it was before the legendary item changes. I believe that should overall be a bump. Hunter's Precision Stance critical magnification bonus is being reduced slightly. Just a handful of kind of classwork things. Here we go. In crafting, apprentice cooks will be able to prepare a number of different fish into fish fillets used in Gundabad crafting. Yeah, we're going to have Gundabad crafting. Also, crafted captain armaments will now have their proper Herald armor stats for tiers 11 to 14. Got a couple of minor deed things, including some brawler skills that will now properly count toward the completion of a deed there. Of course, LIs are going to be able to reforged up to item level 465. We have a level cap coming of 140 here with Gundabad, right? We're bumping tactical damage on new LIs by 10%. Let's see. Just typical loot box stuff is going to be happening that we do with our X packs, you know, kind of readjusting the top end there. We do have some new Heartwood cosmetic items in there, including cosmetic pets, housing items, and a steed with War Steed appearances. They'll be available with Myrtle Mint for Figments of Splendor. By the way, I've got that written down somewhere. I may have to call that up on the notes. We got Myrtle Mint arriving next week, but we also... Where did I find that now? Let me quick call that up while I'm looking at it. Yeah, okay. Rowan Raspberry is currently here. We'll be going away pretty soon. However, we're going to have a bit of an overlap. Rowan will be available until 3 a.m. Eastern on November 15th. Now, Myrtle Mint is arriving with update 31, which is November 10th. So between the 10th and the 15th, you're going to have both Myrtle and Rowan available. And then on the 15th at 3 a.m. Eastern, Rowan is going to be going away. I would quick note, I'm aware that I really screwed up big time on the curator announcement. I don't know how it happened, but somehow our end date of the curator got mismessaged to me, and therefore I mismessaged it to you. And the curator, instead of being through November 2nd, went away on November 2nd. All I can say about that is I'm sorry. We weren't able to bring the curator back for that extra 24 hours due to the needs of what it would take to make that happen and other things that people had to work on. I apologize. That sucks. I suck for doing it, and I'll try to not do that in the future. I'll try to really lock down that messaging before I say anything on the curator here in the future. So all I can really say about that is sorry. It's my fault. The buck stops here, and the buck apparently ran through the windshield and crashed my car. Sorry about that. We do have a whole bunch of PvMP work. I guess I'm not going to completely go through that. Now, we have had, in recent weeks, Fantus has been on Bullroarer doing PvMP previews with a bunch of PvMP players, including they've got a little Discord that's set up just temporarily for Bullroarer and for future PvMP work. And I'm not going to go through all the notes here, but quite a bit is actually happening on the PvMP front here with Update 31. So hopefully if you're into PvMP, you should definitely take a look at all this stuff. It's going to be pretty good. And if you've been a part of the previews, and I know a lot of people have, you're going to already be aware of a lot of this information. For quest stuff, what do we do here? Yes, one of the big ones is you're going to be able to join up to 15 private encounters per hour, up from 10. That should help ease the hour limit on private encounters. You'll be able to add up to 75 entries to your housing permissions panel. That's pretty good. Then we just a couple of minor fixes there. We're going to be able to spend up to 98 class trait points. Reaching level 140 will award you a class trait point. Yeah, and that's about it, really. A couple of minor UI changes there. So, like I said, we're going to have the full release notes actually published next week, but I did want to give you a preview of what's going on in their current state here right now. Let me quick pop on over into Landreval. I'll show you, I'll be questing here in a little bit, but before I do that, let me see what we have going on in terms of questions and answers. I'll see what I can get to here before we get going on the rest of the show. So yeah, a reminder that Extra... Oh, actually, let me call that up real quick. That is absolutely news here related to Extra Life. So where did I put that? Here we are. So Extra Life takes... Oh, well, my green screen ain't greening so good today, is it? Let me see if I can fix that up a little bit. No, I'm making it worse. Well, there may not be too much I can do about that right now. My green screen is acting up a little bit. I guess we'll just have to... Whatever. We'll just have to deal with it. No. Well, there's my regular screen. It's not quite where I want it to be, but I guess, whatever. It's a green screen. It's not going to kill anything. Anyway, tomorrow... noon to midnight, twitch.tv/LotraStream. We're doing our Extra Life Game Day live stream. So far, we've raised a little over $16,000 from our $20,000 goal for Extra Life, hoping tomorrow's Extra Life will kick us over that $20,000 goal. The Lotra community's been great in recent years, and the goal has not changed from recent years. I would mention that Standing Stone Games did kick in $5,000 this year, and so I really do want to thank the company for doing that this year. We're going to be doing a bunch of giveaways as well, over particularly in Twitch chat. So noon to midnight Eastern, you want to maybe stop on by for an opportunity to get some codes and giveaways and a whole bunch of other cool things there. But I did want to thank everybody who's donated so far. I've been pretty good at keeping up with the private messages as they come in terms of writing down your information. I've not started distributing things yet. Time has not permitted me to do that. Typically, none of this stuff happens until after the Extra Life Game Day is over. But that is the case this year. However, I am pretty much ready to go on it as soon as time permits. So if you do make a donation, make sure you send me a private message over the forums. If you can't do that, Twitter's probably the second best way to do it. Private message Locher on Twitter. And really, all I need is a way to get back in touch with you. So if you're just like, yo, I donated $20 to Extra Life, either to me, to the team, to a team member, doesn't matter who you donated to. As long as you make a donation of at least $10, you're going to be in the running for the giveaways that we're doing. You can find out more about that on the Lotra forums. But please do private message me so that I have a way to get back in touch with you to get you your stuff. So things are going to be kicking off at noon with Winnie on twitch.tv/LotraStream at 2 o'clock. Little Redhead's taking over. 4 o'clock, it'll be Red Baron. 6 o'clock is Eldolith. 7 o'clock is MVP. I'm going to be live from 8 until 10 o'clock, and then Druid's Fire is going to round it out from 10 until about midnight for our Extra Life Game Day. So hope you have fun, stop by, win some stuff, got some points, some codes for various mounts, all stuff from the community loot list. But that's going to be happening, and that's a good time. So really appreciate everyone who's been a part of Extra Life so far, and thank you. All right, let me quick get back to our chat. Yeah, I am extra sparkly today, huh? Yeah. Oh, yeah, it could be the microphone causing trouble. I've been having computer problems like you wouldn't believe. I don't know. My computer isn't Windows 11 compatible, allegedly, and that's got me quite upset because it's not that old, and my computer is still pretty fast. But yet I've been having problems in recent weeks, so maybe I'm going to have to get a new computer here. Eventually, Artenis, Rummerchant gear will probably suffer the same fate as other raid gear. I don't think that's happening with Fate of Gundabad, though, in terms of a max level. I don't think so. I haven't heard of that happening, so I think you'll be okay for a little while yet. But yeah, eventually it'll suffer the same fate as other raid gear. in terms of having a max level. But at the moment, I haven't heard of any plans to do that. We are aware, there are some folks saying, please fix Evernight lag. We are working on that. As a matter of fact, we have a meeting this afternoon where we're going to be working with our engineering and Daybreak Engineering and some other things to identify some steps forward that we can do in the short term. We have been working and will continue to be working on things for the near future to hopefully deal with some game performance concerns. And that's about all I really have to say there, but, you know. So if we have posts and otherwise we don't want messing with the SEO kinship creative writing, we should delete it all since we won't be able to S it anymore? No. I think what you're talking about is the forums, and so if and when we go to the new forums and the existing forums get into a read-only state, what we will probably do is give people time to take care of whatever they need to take care of. So we'll be like, hey, you know, in August 1st or whatever it happens to be, you know, we'll be switching over to the new forums, and at that point you'll register for a new forum name. The existing forums will be in a read-only state. Presumably, I, at the very least, will still have access to be able to delete things as necessary. So if you really have something that you want to get rid of, you can. I wouldn't mess or worry too much about Google SEO. Don't have to worry about that, really. But theoretically, if you were to want to carry over all that stuff, you'll be able to just with a simple copy-paste into the new forums. So that should be fine. Do we have an exact date for the reward track launch, or are we still waiting on an ETA? Kind of. Let me see what I can call up here in terms of messaging on that. The reward track, as I understand it, will be... Let me see, where did I put that now? Here we go. All right, so the reward track is expected to be released with update 31.1. The exact date of update 31.1 has not yet been settled. I would expect it to be sometime within about a month or so of update 31 being released. That's our typical cadence. I don't think well, I can check to see if we have a tentative date for 31.1, but I think the answer is currently no. We don't yet have a date that's in any kind of state that we would be able to announce it at this point. Let's see what I got. Yeah, I think what we probably are looking at for 31.1 will be something like the first full week of December, so probably somewhere before mid-December is about what I'd say for the release of update 31.1, and that should include the new reward track. I guess I could mention that while I'm looking at it, Honor is expected to get to the Grey Mountains and have a level cap increase of 120 on December 15th. So that's a little bit of news there. But, yeah, so I think we're probably talking the first half of December here for update 31.1. We also do have two 3-person instances called the Den of Puglok and Assault on Durstrak. That's going to be released not next week with update 31, but that'll be update 31.0.1, which will be somewhere in the range of a week later. So not next week, but the week after, maybe something like that. Give or take a little bit. But that's the general release plan for the instances. And then the reward track is expected to be released with update 31.1, which will probably be in early-ish December on that. So... Yeah, I'm pretty sure the name of the Gundabad crafting tier is called Gundabad. Do you have to finish 4.9 to start Gundabad? Well, if you want to continue with the storyline, yes. I think there are probably going to be some ways, you can get in there and do some things without having gotten that far. But if you want to be playing the content, yeah, you want to get through the existing content first before you move into the new stuff. No, Martin. I would not post the link to the release notes on the forums because that link is going to be going away in about 20 minutes. It'll be back next Tuesday, but I'm going to be unpublishing the notes here as soon as I'm done with the show because they're not ready yet. I just put them up just for so I could read them in their existing state that you saw here today. The back doors on the Ettenmoors are being removed? Yeah, we are. Little Redhead saying that she'll be on Treebeard during her section of the Extra Life game day. That's cool. Thank you, Lamer Fang, for digging the new LI system. On which server is the Extra Life Day? It should be on a whole bunch of different servers. I myself will most likely be questing here on Stampion, on Landreval. But, we'll see. Each streamer is going to kind of have their own location. Direct message me on the forums regarding Extra Life donations. Someone's asking, yeah. Basically what I need to do is I need a way, because, I'll get a message saying, Joe donated $20 to Extra Life. But that doesn't help me get you, a code for your mount or fiddle or whatever else that you get for the incentive rewards. I have no idea who Joe is, right? So if you give me a private message, just say, hey, I donated $20 to you for Extra Life. I'll reply to that private message with a code. In almost every case, I believe it's a code. And then also be able to get you any incentives you get from the giveaways as well. So that's why you have to private message me, so I can actually figure out, who to reply to for your donation. If you want to make things easier, you could just say, hey, I donated $20 to you, and according to the reward list, here's the things that I could get, and here's what I want. It'll save a step of me having to ask you what you want. But you don't have to do that. I'll be back in touch with you anyway. Any word on when Honor gets its next level cap increase? Yeah, I believe I just mentioned that. Or did I not? That is on here somewhere. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, Honor is going to be getting the Grey Mountains, and that'll be December 15th for that. And I can't remember exactly. I think... Yeah, Shadowfax is looking like it'll get Isengard on January 5th, 2022. And then Treebeard's going to be hitting Moria that same day. So that's the short-term release plan for the Legendary Worlds. Rinsler, I have seen that bug about something showing through high elves who are wearing different helms and masks. I have passed that along to the art team. I believe there is a bug in for that. I don't have a time I can tell you for when it'll be fixed, but I know that it is on our radar. I'm actually not sure, Ramen Nexo, what you're talking about in regard to a loading screen bug, but it does sound like something we're going to have to look into. So let me know more about what you're talking about there. Probably just a bull roar thing. Angry Watering Can is asking on Twitch, what about balance for the lower mid levels? The progression is too fast in levels 20 to 75. A hit point buff to monsters by around 10 to 20% and a reduction in XP gains would help that problem. In general, on the lower end of the leveling spectrum, we are generally okay with it being faster than slower. We'd rather have it be too fast than too slow. In general, we're all right with letting you get to the level cap, relatively soon so that you can play more relevant recent content. For those who want a slower experience, that's what Treebeard's about, right? And the legendary servers in general, but especially Treebeard. Everything but Shadowfax, which is actually faster than normal. But, Honor and Treebeard are probably where you want to go if you're particularly concerned about leveling too quickly. I don't actually know that we would have a lot of interest in increasing the difficulty of monsters and lowering the XP between levels 20 and 75. I think if we got enough feedback that players really wanted us to do that, we could. But I don't think in general we want to make it harder to level up at the lower end. Yeah, if you can't or don't want to message me on the forums for About Extra Life, probably private messaging Locher on Twitter is the second best. Ultimately, however you can get it to me is fine. But forums take care of 99% of it, and then there's a few people who private message me on or Locher rather on Twitter, and that's good too. I think my personal private messages are friends only, so I wouldn't try to message me personally on Twitter. Plus, I don't really check my messages very much. But Locher I do, so that would be the best way to go. Is there a trailer coming for Gundabad? There is. There is. As a matter of fact, last I heard, there might be a certain big video game website that's going to get an exclusive on it next week for about 24 hours before it gets distributed elsewhere. So stay tuned for more info on that. Yes, Steknar, I know that there are a few people who have purchasing issues with Fate of Gundabad in the Locher market. The best advice I can give you is to get in touch with account support through help.standingstonegames.com. They have the ability to help work through those purchasing issues if they can. Generally, like if you're running into a PayPal issue, try something else. I think that's probably one of the bigger culprits is weird PayPal issues. All right, let me pop on over to YouTube now. This is the last stream before Gundabad, correct? Yeah, it is. The new allies are far better than the old. I think so too. Stampion here is doing quite a bit better with my new allies. Minus that one tracery, which, oh my god, did I get a bunch of grief from the stupid tracery. I put in a tracery that wasn't relevant to a champion, except for the fact that it had a big physical mastery buff, which is the reason I put it in to begin with. But people looked at the one tracery main skill on it and were just like, oh my god, you're the worst player ever. And although that may be true, I had put in a bunch of other traceries already on my LI, and I just got it for the physical mastery buff because I was running out of ancient script. So, bleh. But because of the garbage I got over the coming days since briefly showing my LI on the live stream last week, I took it out for you, and now I've got a general morale buff in there, which is actually weaker, but whatever. Hopefully it'll cause me less grief. Will embers have a conversion? Yeah, we are doing the standard conversion of embers to motes and what have you here with Gundabad. So, you know, standard conversion process applies there. Yes, thank you, Andrew, for calling this one out, too. We do still have through November 30th the ability to get all of our currently available quest packs for free. The code is LotroQuests2021. You can enter that in the Lotro store through redeem code. Again, LotroQuest2021. There is no reason not to apply it to your account if you have not already done so. It's only good, and it gets you a bunch of free stuff. So please do. Please do. We'd hate to see people miss out on it. Every time we bring back this free coupon code, we get a handful of comments afterwards like, I missed my chance. Don't miss your chance. You've got plenty of time. Please put in that coupon code. All right. Mike is asking if we would ever do a model like Star Citizen to raise funds. I assume by that you mean something like a Kickstarter. Probably not. I don't really see us doing Kickstarters or Indiegogos or that kind of thing. I cannot say more about any sort of future housing areas. I know Scenario, though, might have something to say about that later this month. Stay tuned. Word is we're going to have a casual stroll through housing here in the near future. Not, it'll be a few weeks yet, but later this month, that might have some pretty cool information in it. So, what is the code one more time, please? It is LotroQuests2021. LotroQuests2021. Will the hardware requirements with Gundabad change for your old PC? No, but our more recent areas tend to be fairly on the higher end of performance. So hopefully you haven't been running into an issue with, like, say, War of Three Peaks. It shouldn't be any worse than War of Three Peaks in terms of your minimum requirements. Will there be more legendary item traceries? Absolutely. Absolutely. No plans, sorry, at the moment. Yao from Deco du Milieu. About offering gifting in the Lotra market. That is a long-term request that we have. We're hoping to be able to bring that in the future, but I don't have anything to announce really now or any time in the short term here that I'm aware of. All right, let me pop on over to Facebook, get to those questions here. If you have a mortar allegiance, will you have a penalty for the new allegiance? No, I don't believe so. You can no longer imbue your LIs. Is there any way you can, or has that now gone? Sorry, Yvonne. Over on Facebook, imbuement of old LIs is now a thing of the past. So what you'll want to do is appraise your old LIs, and you'll still be able to keep them, but you'll get a bunch of currency that you can use to get going with your new LIs that should bring you, we're saying equivalent to your old LIs. In most players' cases, I believe we found that the new LIs are actually significantly stronger than the old LIs. However, if you've got old maxed out LIs, it is generally more on the equivalent side. And I would read up on the new LI system. We have an article on Lotro.com, New Legendary Items Explained, that'll help get you going on the new LI system. What is being done about the gold spammers who you cannot put into the ignore list because they don't exist? They are the thorn in our side right now, and we do have plans to work on it. There's a couple of things that we are investigating to see which is the fastest solution, which is the best solution, and when can we get it done. One possibility would be that when you put someone onto your ignore list, it blocks them entirely from world chat at an account level, is one option that we're investigating. There's a few things. We're also investigating if enough people were to report a spammer, that some of that might get automated, although that you have to be careful about kind of abuse potential of that. But there's a few things that we're tracking towards to deal with that problem, outside of just having CS agents play whack-a-mole with these idiots. But it is unfortunately a problem that we're dealing with in the short term here. All I can say is please do report them. CS is working to try to take care of the problem, and we are working to take care of the problem more permanently here as soon as we can. Legendary item names is something that I don't have anything to announce today, but I hopefully will have some news for you on that in the future. You can use a war steed, Glenn. You can currently, I believe, equip a bridle on your war steed, but the bridles are not updated to the new legendary item system. So, depends on what you want to do there, I guess. But bridles will eventually be added to the new legendary item system, but it might be a little while. But yes, my understanding, although I have not personally tried to do it, my understanding is that you can equip the old bridles on your war steed currently. Someone asking, why did I shave again? It's for Movember, the Movember movement. And I'm not going to put my URL out there until after Extra Life is done. But I'm raising money for men's mental health issues and things like that. And part of that is to suffer my own mental health penalty by looking like this through the month of November. Except even worse because I'm going to get a mustache. Yeah. I'm getting conflicting information that I might be wrong about bridles, whether they can be used or not. I don't know, personally. I don't... I have a bridle. I don't think I've ever equipped it, and I don't use war steeds. Sorry. Will there be instances you can run at top level when you hit 140 while you wait for the 3, 6, and 12 people instances to come out? I think so, right? Some of them should still be runnable. But it is just going to be a week as well before the new instances come out. Not on the 12 person, though. The raid's going to be in the future, probably something like January, but we'll see where we go there. A chance that we fix the problem with UI scaling at 4K monitors. Eventually we do absolutely want to better support 4K and do a wider UI overhaul. That's a huge project, but something that we would like to do in the future. Are we planning any in-person community player events in the Boston area anytime soon? No. I'm sure we will at some point, but we're all still working from home here, and COVID isn't done yet. Geez, what did I just see? Something like we had another 3,000 some get sick in Massachusetts this past week. So even though things are definitely way, way better than they have been, I don't think we're out of the woods yet, and I just don't see us doing any kind of promoted public event really for a while here. Are there plans to open EU-located servers again? That comes up fairly regularly. Our answer to that remains, unfortunately, no. Sorry. But we do not have plans to do that. I see some people taking a look at Steam charts and talking about our population numbers based on Steam. That's not something I can talk about. Sorry. No big surprise, our free quest coupon led to a bunch of a nice little pop boost. So I bet some of those numbers display that. Is there an overview of the whole SSG team somewhere? No, there is not. We are a private company, and we tend to not release figures about employment numbers and what have you. We're a pretty small group, all said and done. Bigger than some, smaller than others. All right. Geez, I haven't. It's already. What time is it now? Geez, it's already 12:45, and I managed to talk for a whole hour. Oh, 45 minutes here. So, what am I actually doing over in Lothlorien? It's because I've got a necklace to find. I've been running through the Azeru Bazaar quests really over the past week. I got all caught up, so I'm ready to roll right into Gundabad come next Wednesday, and then I've just been doing all the kind of side quests and that, and Azeru Bazaar historical. And that's mostly what I've been up to on the Lotro side this past week. Uh, Looking to get a few more traceries, decon some of them for Ancient Script. I don't actually want the new traceries so much as I want the Ancient Script right now. And so that's why I've just been doing some of that. It's worked out okay, but I still have quite a ways to go. But one of the things I did was I went to that necklace quest there. And you know what? Let me do it again. I don't know why I do this, because all it does is cause me grief. But here's the current state of my Elias sword here. I had just in this Word of Mastery here, a placeholder tracery that everyone freaked out about last week. So I got rid of it and put in a base morale booster there. But you can just kind of see, I mostly am just taking the skills that I actually am using quite a bit, and I slotted traceries into that. Some of them are updated. Some of them are updated to 430. Some of them are getting on their way to 449. But you can see that's my current state. It's better than my old LI, I can tell you that much, by quite a bit. But of course I still have a ways to go. And then on my class item here, I currently have, again, just kind of the same thing. Incoming, I've got both tactical and physical. Because I do a lot of AoE type stuff, I wanted to get my area of effect traceries up. And you can, again, just kind of see I'm just focusing on skills I'm actually using here. And then put traceries in there for that. So that's the current state of my LI right now on this champion. And I know it's going to be pretty weak compared to a lot of raiders and what have you, but that's fine. That's fine. All right, I had the audio down because last week it ended up being too loud. So let me go find this necklace here. If I can figure out how to get back up there. How do I get back up there? As a matter of fact, maybe I should have thought about that before I... Oops. Here we go. Gonna have to go across. get up through there? I think so. I need to figure out how to get up on the mountain here. Hopefully I can figure that out. Bridles can be used, but you can't forge them or edit them. Yes. Okay, cool. Cool. That's fine. That's fine. That's what I thought. Oh my god, I'm actually correct. There we are. I remember you from 2799. This is a really hard section of the historical Azeru Bazaar. There's a real there's a mob density thing going on in that section that is, I have found, exceptionally brutal. Oh. That ain't gonna work. Okay. Here we go. War steeds, you can still use them. Eventually, we want to do some work for war steeds. You know, the whole war steed system itself is a little kind of in need of probably a fairly significant overhaul. Oh, okay. How did I get up there? How do I get up there? Let me think about this. Do I need to go further around? I don't want to go off the cliff. Oh, okay. I must have to go over and then back, huh? There we are. Yeah. Quite a bit different when you don't have a bunch of orcs everywhere. Oops. How do I see? Let me think here. Yeah, I can still go around a ways. And come up the other side. So when you speak to the dwarf on the Azeru Bazaar side, you'll actually speak to him at the location of where he buries the necklace, and he tells you, if anything ever happens to me, you can go. It'll be buried here. And so then you have to go over onto the Lothlorien, you know, the not historical side here, and then go pick it up, which is what I am doing here today. Assuming I can find it, which I should. Here we go. It's still here after all these years. Now I can talk to Herseg. I'm actually bound over into the Tales of Azeru Bazaar. I have found Azeru Bazaar to be pretty tough. as you've seen on the live stream, unfortunately, I found myself getting splatted a little bit. But I've noticed that there's a couple areas in particular, one along the bridges and one kind of north of the northernmost stable master spot. I can't think of the name right now, where I have found it to be particularly challenging. But other than that, I've been doing all right.
Yes?
Eaglin. Where's Eaglin? All the way back to Erebor. Alright. So that means... going through here. I am a yellow line champ. I know that it's not a popular choice. I don't care. What can I say? I play how I like to play, and I, under no circumstances, would recommend anyone ever follow my advice. And let's just leave it at that. If you don't like it, that's your problem, not mine. How do I get... go up and around, right? It's been a while since I've been in here. But yeah, there we go. Oh. Where the heck are you, dude? Down here, huh? Can I jump off? No. Ah. How do I get to this dude? How? How? Okay. Maybe not the best way to do it, but you know what? It worked. There you are. Well met. I'm indeed Eaglin. I hand her the necklace and tell her its story. She holds it gently, a look of sad wistfulness on her face. Thank you for bringing this back to our family. Very nice. But we are actually, you know what? We're almost at 1 o'clock. So I guess that's about all I'm going to get done today. I'm going to be back, though, for Extra Life tomorrow. Reminder, noon to midnight Eastern for our Extra Life live stream. And if you would like to donate, you can find out more at extra-life.org/team/Standing Stone Games. And you can find out more information about incentives and what have you over on the Lotra forums. So thank you so much, everybody, for being here today, and heck, I'll see you tomorrow. Have fun.